The day her friends saw her transformation, they all started staring at her. No one said a word during the whole party. Everyone was just looking at her like she had suddenly become a celebrity or something. And it made me wonder why. Hi, everyone, welcome back to the channel. You may not know this about me, but I have always been someone who felt invisible. Even when I was surrounded by people, I still felt alone. I was born into a big family, but I grew up with two different parents. My mother gave birth to me when she was only 16 years old, and soon after she left me with my grandparents to go study abroad. My father remarried very early on and never even bothered to look for me once, so I was raised by my grandparents, and I often felt lonely and unloved. Throughout school, I was never interested in studying, and I would spend most of my time locked in my room, reading fashion magazines and practicing makeup looks. I knew that I wanted to work in the beauty industry, but I also didn't want to disappoint my grandparents. So I kept my dreams a secret and studied business instead. But then in college, I met some amazing people, and I finally started living life to the fullest. When I turned 19, I moved out of my grandparents' house and into a shared apartment with 3 other girls. We were all studying business, and most days we would meet up with boys after class and go drinking. I remember those times vividly, because I truly felt like I was on top of the world. Then when I was 20, one of my friends told me about a local modeling competition. She said that I looked like the type who would do well in these kinds of things and convinced me to sign up. At first, I was quite surprised. I had never thought of myself as attractive, but I decided to give it a shot. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up winning the competition and soon became a part-time model. I worked on several commercials and print ads and got paid thousands of dollars every month. It was great money and I was doing things that I genuinely enjoyed. So I decided to quit school and focus on modeling. At first, my friends were really supportive. They were happy for me and told me that I deserved it. But then a few months passed, and they started acting differently towards me. They would talk about how envious they were of my success and ask me for expensive gifts. And when I refused, they started being cold towards me. I couldn't understand why my own friends would treat me that way, but I soon found out. It all happened at a party. I had invited some friends over to celebrate my latest accomplishment. I bought lots of food and drinks, and set up a playlist with all of our favorite songs. But I could tell that they weren't as excited as I was. They spent most of the time talking in hushed voices and glancing at their phones, and I shrugged it off thinking that they must be stressed about schoolwork. Then in the middle of the night, one of them whispered something into the other's ears and they all burst out laughing. I couldn't help but feel a bit offended and asked them what was so funny. They quickly stopped and awkwardly tried to change the subject, but I insisted on knowing what I had said. "Oh, we were just talking about how you're so lucky to be successful," one of them finally admitted. "But why are you telling me this now?" I asked. "I've known you for years. Don't you think that if you work hard enough, you can be successful, too?" "I guess," they said vaguely. "Well then, stop worrying and enjoy the party," I replied, trying to sound nice. But their strange behavior continued throughout the night, and it made me really uncomfortable. Then, as the evening drew to a close, they finally let me in on their little secret. "You've changed, haven't you?" one of them said. "You're no longer one of us." "What does that mean?" I asked. They all sat in a circle around me and started whispering. "We can't believe that you actually think you're better than us now," one of them finally said. "Better than you how? You're too good looking now. You're prettier than any of us, and you know it. That's why you walk around with your head held high and why you expect us to listen to you. That's nonsense. I don't think I'm better than you. I just feel more confident now that I know that I can do well on my own," I explained. "Yeah, right. You think that because you're too pretty to be humble," another one scoffed. And that's when it hit me. They were jealous of my looks. Maybe they thought that I was arrogant and needed to be put in my place. But I was too shocked to respond. I had never thought that my appearance would cause such problems. And it wasn't until a few weeks later that I understood what had happened. One day, I was getting my nails done when I ran into my friend Sarah. She told me that she hadn't seen me around lately and asked me what I had been up to. I told her about the party and how my friends had treated me. And as I was speaking, I realized that I had been wrong all along. I shouldn't have thought that my friends were jealous of my looks. Instead, I should have realized that they were jealous of my confidence. See, when I was insecure and unsure of myself, they used to make fun of me and tell me that I wasn't pretty. But when I learned to love myself and gained confidence, they couldn't handle it. After talking to Sarah, I understood something important. My friends had never been real friends of mine. They had only pretended to be kind to me, so they could use me for my looks and status. But now that I had transformed into someone who didn't need them anymore, they had revealed their true colors. With time, I healed from this experience and became even stronger. I forgave my fake friends and blocked them on social media. And today, I have new friends who love and support me for who I am. Now I want to ask you, have you ever experienced something similar? Let me know your story in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you next time.